Hello and welcome back to Mars Horizon, where we are leading Japan in the space race. In the last episode we completed the milestone, Mars Prep Robotic Rover. If you haven't seen that episode or previous, please find a link in the description below to take you to the playlist for this Let's Play. In this episode we'll be focused on the next milestone, Venus Orbit. Let's continue. We're also getting very close to completing the Neptune flyby, which is due in 18 months' time, and then we'll be on to the next phase of the Grand Tour, which is the Neptune flyby. So they're going to reach the both the Grand Tour and the Neptune flyby reached at the same time. So got that to look forward to as well. We've also got astronomical studies, which is due in 1 month time as well, and the Venus orbit is due. The rocket, the vehicle, is due in 3 months' time. We have a spare mission slot, so let's have a quick look around and see what we want to do next. Okay, so it looks like no one's even bothering the Grand Tour because they've not even researched it. Like I say, we've got the X-ray telescope we've quite got to do next. ESA will probably get there first, but we've got it researched, and we've also researched the modular space station 3. So we've got the last couple ones here to look at doing. But we've also got the Mars. We have the retriever to do as well, and the crewed rover. So that'll be the two we want to be looking at getting as soon as possible. So the ground hab, the Russians and the Chinese are both researched, but it doesn't look like they're doing much with that at the minute. I feel like we need to just do a few more quest missions just to keep the research high. Doesn't look like there's anything out here though, because it's like I say, we've got for the milestones and the missions and the Let's Plays, we'll get this one for Venus Orbit, and then we should then be able to work on the next episode onto the Neptune flyby and the next part of the Grand Tour, and then we'll be looking at getting another mission. So I think we need to get a request mission underway, so that's going to give us good science. So it'll probably be between the spacewalk or the private space station. It'd be the private space station. So this is a Mars Tech test. Your engineers have noted that this mission will particularly benefit in testing potential technology for a crewed Mars mission. This mission's Mars experience would increase by 50%. So that's a bonus. We've also got the extra support. We've got the more science. Yeah, so more support, more science. So yep, that's fine. So you completed the mission. Yeah, that's fine. So we want to plan this mission. Need to get quite a lot of space stations in orbit, but we'll just get a standard payload because that seems to work quite well for us. Okay, so we have our 5 missions underway. In terms of the diplomacy, the NASA's doing the CR. They've got nothing upcoming. The Russians doing the NC2, the Mars flyby. ESA haven't got no research in the launching the Jupiter flyby, and the Chinese are doing a large launch pad and the Venus impactor. It's strange how they're researching the large launch pad, because that is here, but that's used to launch heavy rockets. So we need a large launch pad up here with the, is it the Saturn was the first one? Yeah, medium. So basically from here onwards we had to have a large launch pad, so it's surprising that they've been able to do some of their missions with just medium. Unless they're just got a little bit more assistance or help, unless this is another research that I'm missing. But I think there's only one type of large launch pad. But anyway, we've got the Mars readiness. We are 53%, so we're getting quite well with this. We are to the Soviets, so it's the Russian and the Chinese are both at 33%. I think the reason why we got such a big boost to that is because we did that Mars prep mission. That gave us 25% preparation. So yeah, I think that's why we're like 20% ahead of the game, is purely because of this one. So we need to keep pushing forward and make sure we keep going with that. We can't start the mission yet until we get all this completed, I think. So we just have to keep pushing forward. So let's move on. Yep, so we've got the studies now ready to go. Good reliability, payload reliability, and good launch. As long as it's not raining, which it is. Okay, so it's terrible conditions, still 88% chance, so let's go. Okay then. Seem to be okay. Yeah, 54%. Happy with that. Biddable. Didn't see that before. But either way, like I say, we've done plenty of these missions in the past. Only 1% chance for failure, so we'll just auto resolve it. Should be successful. Didn't realise I had a crew on it. My bad. But successful mission all the way around, so I'm happy with that. Didn't get the bonus, but we still got good support and good science and more experience. Yeah, I completely forgot that mission had 3 astronauts on it, but either way, all 3 astronauts are ready to go, and they'll be recuperating for 6 months, so we'll continue with that. Okay, so... there was one thing I wanted to do. I need to look at the crews, because I did make a mistake here. I do want to apologise. Activate is actually is a boy or a man. So what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to rename these astronauts to suit. So I'm not sure how to do this properly. Whether or not to hire a new astronaut for yourself and just replace the name of one of these astronauts on here. So I'm just going to get this name. I'll just cancel that. We will make you... It'd be nice to keep an electrician, but it doesn't seem like we've got anyone ready to do that. So what I'll do is I need to place you with somebody. I may make you a problem solver, or just hold fire until we get a decent astronaut to hire you. So for the minute, we shall swap you for a navigator. So we're going to rename. Okay. And then I'm going to take Yamamoto. I like that name. So let's take Yamamoto Narashai and rename this astronaut. Okay. So for the minute we'll put you down as a navigator, but I would like to probably maybe put you back to a navigation electrician, just because I think the electrician with the power is a lot better than just having an additional 1 navigation. I don't really think that's a big benefit. It'd be nice to have at least, I don't know, a couple of extra points there, but we'll see. But either way, I've hopefully now replaced it. Again, if you're not particularly happy with Navigator or you want something different, again, please leave a comment below and I will endeavour to try to rectify it. But again, hopefully now it's at least got the right agenda, so I do apologise, but I've now rectified that. So let's see where we're at with missions. So Neptune's 17 with the Grand Tour 17, another 2 for the Venus, and the private station is due in 5. So we've got another, we do another quest mission. So with that, I would attempt to do the traffic tracking for the funds, but we don't need the funds. We seem to be doing okay at the minute. So the spacewalk does seem the best option. Yeah, the abstract sensors would be good, but again, it's 3,000 sites. So yeah, we'll just get this one planned and ready to go. Okay. Don't think there's much more we can do, so we may as well just keep moving on. The research has now been complete, so we've now got the Centaur D. What was Centaur G? Yeah, this one here. So we've got the Centaur G. So we've now researched enough to get down onto the SLS block. I believe we need these for... So we've got an orbital way station now, which is actually really good science, but I have to hold fire for that one. I believe we need the... Yes, the SLS block 1 and block... Yeah, for the upper stage, or that we need this for the upcoming mission. So it could be worth going on to getting the Mars ground hub ready to go, but I think we've got enough missions to keep us going. We could do with getting the payloads underway. So I think we might get a booster, which is probably the only booster we can get there, apart from the SLS block 2. So what's the difference between these ones here? So 65k to 90k, 65 to 50, 8 months, 6 months, 1.5 to 2.2k. Mass is 180 kilograms, 140. Outer planets and upgrade points at 2. Both have got what we need to do the mission. So it's probably going to go for the SLS Block 1 and the Block 1. So let's get the SLS Block 1 booster unlocked, or sort of research. So it's a liquid fueled super heavy lift rocket which can place a large payload into Earth orbit and beyond. So we'll get that researched, just because once we've got this done, we can go full steam ahead and everything else, is what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't think there's much more we can do at the minute. We're just basically waiting for things to be completed, so moving on. Okay, so the Venus orbit vehicle is now complete. We've got additional vehicle training, but the payload has gone down. Not the best, but it's something that we'll have to deal with. Okay, so if we wanted to increase the vehicle payload, vehicle training, we can do it by here, but 91% still good. So let's get training on the payload. We'll select a date for, we'll go for July. Yeah, we'll confirm that setup and go in 2 months' time. Yes, I think that should be acceptable. Okay, crew are doing what they're doing. Diplomacy, just have a quick glance through this. Nothing seems too much information there. So, is anybody doing the Mars ground hab yet? No. But keep going, escaping too many times. So, moving forward. Okay, so the spaceport now is ready to go. So we've got 10% reliability, but minus vehicle build time. Not too bad. I don't mind the build time. We can live with that. Can we reuse a shuttle? We can reuse a shuttle, so we will reuse a shuttle. So let's go for the Tokyo. Reuse the shuttle, and we shall. So we've got advanced. Again, I like this. I like the advanced weatherproofing technology, or the upgrade. So advanced weatherproofing limits the detrimental effects of bad weather conditions on launch day. Have a vehicle on their vehicle's reliability. Great. I just don't know if it's worth wasting two points, which you can't obviously have multiple. It's one or the other. You just don't know if you're going to have that, so you're probably best just to go for, at least with the launch reliability, it's there regardless. That's the only thing I get with the option of it. So we're going to lose 25% payload and launch reliability because of the experimental fuel. So we can defer that by 5%, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't know if there's anything else particularly that's going to give us much. Because say if it is raining and it's causing bad weather, we'll just reschedule for the next day. So simple as that, really. Yeah, so the shock absorber is what I would like to go with, but I suppose we could do that and then put. We could give it a, what's it called? Get a test pilot in there to sort that out. So yes, let's go for that approach. So if we build it in house, we may as well give it to Astronautica because it's 5 months still, and they've reduced the cost by 30%. So we'll select that contactor, confirm that refit, and go. Okay, so that's ready to go. So yeah, the launch orbit is not the best. The payload is 85%, so we can increase that by training. But if we give some test pilots on this, which we should have. Yeah, we've got a test pilot, so that's an extra 5%. I mean, we could always hire another test pilot, but I don't think it's essential. But an extra test pilot on that would give us up to 80% anyway, so that should be okay. Doesn't tell me how many astronauts you need. I can't remember what it is now. Could be about 2 or 3, so we should be able to go forward from there. Okay, so it looks like we've got another Mars request mission to do. Okay, yeah, we've done these, but these done them before, so good missions to do. It's just the time it takes to get over there. But anyway, moving forward. Okay, so Venus orbit of July 1994. We are last to the race here on this one. It's just I didn't see the essential need to get them done straight away, but move forward. Seems we have a good day. Yep, so we've got good conditions, so increases launch reliability up to 99%. Perfect. Continue. Okay, launch seemed very successful. 64% is good. Continue. Okay, moving forward then. Okay, nice payload. Okay, so enter Venus transfer orbit. So 6 navigation, 6 thrust, and then 12 navigation and 12 thrust. For the bonus, we've got comms, data, and power, secondary resources. We've got 3 commands, 5 turns, and we have a decaying thrust every turn. So we'll have to do as much we can do on the last turn. So all we need to do now is get as much navigation as possible. We'll try to get navigation as soon as possible. And we would need to get, is it 3 commands? We need to get 3 or 4 commands worth of the calculated thrust, which will give us a few navigation points. So if we begin, we can get some power into some comms into 4 navigation and a data. We could turn the navigation into comms and data and comms. I think that might be a good option. Yep, I think that's a good option. It gives us some resources on the board, so we'll confirm that. Okay, got an extra comms there for an ideal alignment. Payload is reasonable. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Continue. Okay, and there's no thrust to decay, so we don't lose any. Okay, so 4 commands left to go. We need to get, so for this command of the last term, we need to have 3 successful command slots to get the 12 thrust we need. That would also give us an extra 3 navigation, so that's not a problem. It does mean that we need to get 6 data and 3 navigation, 3 comms and 6 data to have enough resources available for this, and then some power to resist and everything. So to get the navigation, it needs comms. So we could use an extra navigation and 2 data, and then turn that into some navigation there. Okay, and then going to turn the comms and navigation to get some data. I think that seems fair, because that'll give us the 6 data we need and the comms we need, and we just need to get some more comms on the next couple of turns. So yeah, we'll do navigation into data to 5 comms, 3 comms, 4 navigation and data, and then a comms and navigation to 4 data. Okay, 53 is good. 32 is good. And a first fail. Okay. We have got power to resist it, so this is only going to, this will save us a comms. I think we'll accept that. I think we can deal with the extra loss of that. So 3 commands left to go. We know the last command's going to have to be all calculated thrust burn. So we need to try and get the navigation up. So if we get additional, we use the command's power to 3 comms, turn that 3 comms into 4 navigation and a data. So that gets up to 9 navigation. And then with the extra thrust down here, that would actually complete the mission, but we don't want to, we want to make sure we've got enough for everything. So let's use another, to turn navigation into 2 data and a comms. So confirm that. Okay, nice little bonus. Okay, got a fail. So if we resist it, it would just save us. Well, then again, though, we've just gained an extra data from that successful command, so we may as well reuse that, and not too bad. 25 is just on the limits, so that's nicely done. Okay, so second turn, 2 turns to go. We've got 8 navigation, which is good because if we do the 4, all 3 of that there, we're going to be 1 shy. So we need to get some more navigation. So if we do a, I think that should do it actually. So just double check here. If we go for 3 comms to 4 navigation to 1 data, 1 power to 3 comms, and then recharge. That will give us the 3 comms we need. I would like to recharge to ensure that we can get that last one done completely. So that will give us the 12 navigation. Do we need that much navigation though? But it's the only way to get it apart from a calculated thrust burn. But I'm tempted actually now to do that. If we use 1 navigation and 2 data, we only need 6 data to complete the mission, which is what we've got. We need 5 comms, which is what we need here, and we can then recharge. That way we would have, and then when we do the additional navigation calculate for us, we get the next navigation, so that should work in well. Okay, 69% is good. 15 is not as good. Okay, so they're using extra data, but I feel we can accept that because we've got 7. Okay, so simple last turn. We need to do the calculate for thrust the bird, which is 2 data and a navigation, which will give us an extra, which will turn that into a navigation for thrust, which will then go do us 14 and 12, which is what we need for the mission, and we've got extra power to resist if we need to. Okay, first one's good, second one's good, and the finale is a 37%, which is brilliant. So that's the launch done successfully. Okay, so that's phase 1 complete with the bonus as well. Okay, it's nothing amazing rewards and whatnot, but it's still every little helps. Okay, so active missions, that phase is now done. We need to move on to phase 2, which is due in 4 months' time. Okay, so we've got 13 more months to go for the Neptune and the Grand Tour flybys. Private station is due in a month, so we can work on the vehicle, and the spacewalk is due to the launch preparations in 4 months. Brilliant. I believe there's nothing else to do, so let's just move forward. It looks like, oh, drop there. Just going to say, it looks like the research is going to be completed next month, but we've got 2,000 research coming in, 2.2k. That's amazing. Okay, Curiosity, target choice. The team operating your Mars rover, Curiosity, have identified 2 possible potential locations ideal for further investigation. Oh god, here we go. The first is a crater bed that will allow the rover to search for signs of past water, a location particularly favoured by your scientist. Your PR team, however, favoured the second option, a picturesque point at the top of the ridge, which would allow for some spectacular images. Great, so one's going to give us science, one's going to give us PR. End of the day though, yes, we do need to keep the public relations going, but I feel that we need to search the crater because this is really for scientific reasons to keep going forward, not to. But either way, they should get some good things from this one here. We don't need the PR just at the minute, so let's go for send the rover to the crater. So location targeted. The Curiosity will be directed towards the chosen location, a journey which the rover team estimate to take around 6 months. So interesting to see what happens there. Hopefully it's good news. And the SLS Block 1 research is complete. Good news, the private space station payload is ready to go. It's got 100% plus 100% upper stage upgrade points and minus 100% booster upgrade points. Okay, moving forward. So, yep, let's get the vehicle sorted out. We can reuse the rocket, the shuttle. I don't think we could do, but we can. We can reuse the design, but it's more expensive. We may as well make use of the Samurai. Okay, so on this one, we've got a good launch reliability, so I'm just going to go for the advanced shock absorption because I think that's the best upgrade we've got to keep the payload high. So let's get that done. We can build it in-house, and again, we may as well give it to the Astronautica purely because it's brings the cost down and it's 4 months. What would be interesting to see is the fact that if we put everything through Astronautica, surely there should be a delay in build time because it depends how many teams they've got that they can build rockets, because it seems to be now it's unlimited and it doesn't affect any build time. It'll be interesting to see if they change that in the future, that if you keep selecting the same contractor on multiple missions at multiple times, it may be interesting to know if they have a maximum amount of slots they can use. It'll be interesting to see what they bring for that in the future. But anyway, let's confirm that refit and get going for 4 months. Okay, that looks pretty good to me so far. So let's look at the research. We've got 1.5 in the bag. So we're going to move straight on to the SLS Block 1, which is a large liquid fuel upper stage capable of launching substantial payloads into Earth orbit and beyond. So we'll get that underway. The 1B is good. The payload's a lot better. The launch flight is a lot better, but we can get that up by doing missions. I'm sure they'll finish off at about 80% because it's yeah, so if that one's 65% normal, you got 3 plus 3 for every launch you can do, which you can do by 5, which will give you the 15, and then you got plus 65 on, which will give you 80. And then on this one, it's probably a bit less, but you've got 4 times your 5, which would be your 20, and then plus that onto 50 gives you 70. So it's got a lower reliability, but the price is actually a bit lower. But for me, the price is extra 1.8 in 2 months. I'm actually going to change my mind. I'm going to go straight for the SLS Block 1B, which is, I think, is a very large liquid fuel upper stage able to launch heavy loads into Earth orbit and towards the inner planets. That just says and beyond, and that's the inner planets. So it will still do the research we want to do. Okay, no, I'll change my mind again. Let's go back to the booster. I'm just concerned that I'm not sure what the future holds, but if I look at the sample retriever, it can use it, but I'm still going to stick with that one. I think we can increase the launch reliability with other methods. So, moving on. A whirlpool galaxy draws in public. A series of stunning images captured by your space telescope have featured in a prominent science publication. An image of a whirlpool galaxy, in which the latter is extending one of its spiral arms around a neighbouring galaxy, proved to be especially popular with the public. So we get additional 200 support. Fantastic. And it looks like our astronauts have returned to duty. So hope they enjoyed their 6 months vacation. Okay, active missions. So 11 months for the Grand Tour and the Neptune flyby, 2 months for the Venus orbit. The space station is private space station, 3 months away from the vehicle, the space shuttle refitted, as well as the spacewalk manoeuvring's got 2 months to go for that. Diplomacy, NASA's doing the Modular Space Station 2, and its upcoming mission is the Modular Space Station 1. The Russians are doing the 6X Yancy Z, and they're doing the Mars flyby. ESA is doing the Modular Space Station 1 research and doing the Jupiter flyby launch mission. And the Chinese does not look like they're doing anything at all. So, an overview. Everyone seems happy with us apart from the Chinese. So, can't do much with that at the minute. I believe we're ready to move on, so let's just keep going. Looks like we have a request mission for Venus for an atmospheric sampling. So your researchers have designed a suite of advanced instrumentations for a Venus probe, including a microphone to capture the turbulent descent and to estimate wind speed. Nice site, really good science like this. So when we have another research slot, which will probably be after the Venus orbit anyway, we shall get that done. But we will be doing that next month. So it looks like I can't even see that. I think it's the Chinese are doing something over here. Probably their own request mission. So, let's move forward then. Let's get this Venus orbit underway. So yeah, the Venus orbit is ready for the next phase to go. And the spacewalk maneuver unit is ready to go. So, assigned crew will have 0 repercussion time upon... Alright, so basically whoever gets down to this mission will not get a vacation at the end of it. So they won't have to recuperate. That's good for the agency, but maybe not good for the astronauts. So, this one we do want to get a test pilot, so we'll assign that test pilot, and we shall get, let's use Yamamoto Nurishai. We'll assign you because I like the idea of the electrician, so we'll confirm them too. Right, so we need to make a decision here. I feel that the launch should be okay. I mean, we could hire a second test pilot, and then we could put because that'll bring that up a bit more. So we had another test pilot anyway. Must have got rid of them, or some of them must have retired. I mean, payload 85% is still really good, so it's tempting to get the launch reliability up. Otters are. Yeah, so you're a test pilot as well. So, who's got the longest time? 52. Let's get a new test. Let's get a new test pilot. Let's hire you, and we're going to unassign the electrician and hire the next test pilot. Okay. So yeah, we've got launch reliability up now. So let's get the payload underway, and we'll go for a March launch. Let's continue. Brilliant. Okay, so the Venus orbit is now ready to go. So let's continue and get this one completed. Yeah, the visual effects in this game, they've done a really good job, the design team have. But yeah, very nice. Okay, so achieve Venus orbit. Okay, so we need 6 comms, 4 data, and 6 navigation. To hit the bonus, we need 12 comms, 8 data, and 12 navigation. We've got power as secondary. We do need to deal with the heat, and that's just, at least this was a bit simpler. We just need to keep the heat below 5. But if we get free heat, we'll generate it at the start of the next term. The task will end at the end of the above turn if the above condition is not met. So we need to make sure we keep it below 5. Should be okay. So heat-wise, we need to use the location, extrapolation, and the geoscopic stabilization. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. So if we use some power into some data, use the data and the heat to get free navigation and free comms. That should be fine. So we've got 3 commands and 5 turns, so we'll see how it gets going. So we'll generate 3 there, that should be fine. So we could then turn the navigation into 4 comms and 2 data. Because either way, we are going to be generating navigation every turn, so that should be okay. I just feel like we probably need to get the navigation up more than the comms. Yeah, the comms we generate 3 there every turn. We can put 5 into that. Yes, I think the comms we'll be able to get relatively quickly. So let's focus on using the comms up and getting the data and the navigation. So let's confirm that. Okay, so that's acceptable. 46% is good. And then 97, so we get an extra data. Fantastic news. Yep, and we should generate an extra free power. Free heat. Which then we can turn twice now. I'll do that twice. Into 2 data and 2 heat to get free navigation and free comms. We then want to turn one of them comms. Is that worth it? Yes, that does seem pretty good. Oh, so just go straight for the 2. That yeah, I think that's better because it keeps the resources high. So we'll just do 2 navigation to 3 comms. I mean, we could just use some power actually, but is there better power to use? Actually, could just do that power and then do that, but then we'd lose a bit of comms. So I feel that's probably the best option. All that. That seems pretty good actually, but then we need to lose some of the data. So yeah, let's do that approach. Confirm that. Okay, we've got the first fail, which is not the end of the world. So this would use, we would lose some navigation. Okay, 1 navigation is fine. It's not worth 1 power. We don't need to. Okay, we've got another fail. Again, 1 power for 1 data is not worth it when we don't need to do it. Okay, now we should generate 3 more heats, which is great. So again, we'll use 2 data and 2 heat to get free navigation and free comms. So we've got a couple of turns left to go. We need to get the data up a lot more now. So we use 1 there, and we use a power. Preferably, I want to try and keep that high, so we could do that. that's the only way to possibly do it. We've got an extra 2 turns to go. 23, 3, and 1. Let's go for that approach. Yeah, 74% is good. Yeah, fail's not the best. Again, 1 data for 1 power is not worth it, so just accept the fail there. Okay, 78% is good. And we should get 3 more heat. Okay, so we've got 2 turns to go, so we're going to use that command. Yeah, so I'm tempted to do it again. So we've reached the yeah, that means the last turn then would have to get rid of just 2 heat, or 3 heat, which we wouldn't need to do anything with, and then focus everything on getting that last 3 comms, which is to do a okay, that's fine. We'll go that approach then. So 2 data to 2 heat to get 3 navigation and 3 comms. Do that twice, and then do 2 navigation to 3 data. That seems the best option, I suppose. So let's confirm that. And we've still got some power to resist anything if we do need to. Okay, fail's not the best, but it would lose us 2 navigation. I'm just going to resist it because we've got the power to resist it, just to make sure we get it done next turn. And the last command is successful. So we should now generate 3 heat. But we shouldn't need to touch that heat because we're on the last turn. So, with that in mind, we've got the comms for 15 comms to 12 and 30 navigation for 12. So if we just if we did that one, so that would give us 12 comms still and 15 navigation, and it would generate as that, and then just recharge. So yeah, so we have 12 comms for 12 comms, 8 comms to 8 data for 8 data, and 15 for 12 navigation. So yeah, continue. And 37% is successful. Another successful mission completed by the Japanese Space Agency. Yep, so we did come 5th, but okay, so we completed 2 milestone missions, which is nice. And okay, vehicle research costs has come down by 6 months. Brilliant. So yeah, we've got the bonus and initial experience. So continue. Okay, so another successful mission completed by the Japanese Space Agency. Just looks like the science is ready. It's just been almost done. So that's ready to go for next month. So fantastic news. But yeah, on that successful milestone completion, thank you very much for watching episode 25 of my Japan's Let's Play. If you like the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode of Mars Horizon.